Don't lose your head. It's a common expression that's used to tell someone to stay calm or don't be nervous. It's a term that is usually meant in good fun, but one Ozarks legend out of Douglas County brings a whole new meaning to the age-old saying.
This story involved people supposedly seeing this headless apparition in the vicinity of this cave, Smallet Cave.
A story brought to life and made popular by Douglas County native Daryl Hayden.
He started collecting these stories back in the middle of the 20th century. What he found was that these stories, there were lots of different elements to the Headless Cobbler story, and they related to lots of other kind of common stories, common ghost stories and folklore from throughout human history.
Some different accounts would describe the apparition as a cloud or mist. Others would describe it as a headless figure carrying a book or shoes over its shoulder. Some experiences even show similarities to the popular Washington Irving story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, claiming to have seen the figure on horseback. But all of these accounts have one thing in common.
All of these were connected with this Smallet Cave. And a lot of it, again, just goes back to that human fascination with caves, the fear of caves. So it's kind of natural that these caves are the places where a lot of our folklore for ghost stories comes from.
But is there any truth to the tale, or is it just imagination run wild? According to the Douglas County native who collected stories on the Headless Cobbler, some facts might very well be hidden in the mystery.
What he thought happened was that there was a fellow who lived in the vicinity of Smallet Cave by the name of Evans, and Old Man Evans was a cobbler, and that during the Civil War, in order to stay out of the sight of bushwhackers who roamed around the Ozarks, that he would do his work back in this cave.
Hayden's theory goes on to blame the right environment mixed with human imagination for the claims of a headless apparition roaming the woods around Smallet Cave.
At some point during the Civil War, he was probably spotted, coming out of that cave at night or right before dark with, shoes slung over his shoulder or something like that in a way that made him look headless.
From here, like many legends, the rumor began, and over time, the story grew, and different versions were told and passed down to others.
What he found was that almost everybody he interviewed back in the 1950s and 60s had a different version of what they had seen or what their family had seen, but they all kind of, combined into this one Headless Cobbler legend of Smallet Cave.
A legend that is carried on for more than 100 years and will likely be passed down to future generations.
You can bet that a lot of people in Douglas County and other places in the Ozarks have at least heard of this story, and it's still part of the folklore of the Ozarks. And my guess is the details are still being added to this story.